It's one of my favorite bits from the media blitz for Ghostbusters 2 in the summer of 1989. Here's Dana Barrett, Sigourney Weaver, being interviewed by Winston Zeddemore, Arsenio Hall.
Now she's in danger of being slimed in Ghostbusters 2, which opens this Friday. Please welcome Sigourney Weaver. Oh, yeah, they know how to have fun. You only live once. Right. Sigourney, what does that name mean? Now, I'm interested in unusual names, so I have to ask you that.
I think it means gypsy. I think it's a man's name, actually, but I adopted it. Is yours your real name?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah? Does it mean something?
Yeah, but it's embarrassing.
Oh, come on. I think we all want to know what it means.
It's actually...
Is it Latin?
Well, it's a word in different languages. In Greek mythology, it's a god of strength. In Italian, it's a little town in southern Italy called Sant'Arsenio. And I think it means fiery in Spanish. And we get words like arson and stuff like that.
But no one calls you arson for sure.
Sometimes they do. And they call me arsenic sometimes.
Oh, really? It's hard having a strange name. Either people can't pronounce it or they make it more complicated than it is, you know. Yeah. I get Signori and Siguni and, you know.
But
Sig
it's
is fine.
Sigourney.
Sigourney.
Yeah. So, what does your character do in this movie?
Well, she's not possessed.
Yeah, because she was wild in the first movie.
I campaigned to be wild again, and the director said, no motherhood for you. So I became a mommy, which is another form of possession, I guess. And I have a sweet little 8-month-old boy who was played by twins. And I've... Actually, all the characters 5 years later have sort of been down and out a little bit, and I've gotten married, I think, to the guy who used the nose spray in the first Ghostbusters, and it didn't work out, and so I got a divorce, but I have this little baby.
And how does the relationship with Bill Murray sit in this movie?
Well, that's a good question. Uneasily. I think they didn't really want me in this movie because no one could figure out how a woman who knew Peter Venkman would want to go out with him. So they didn't know quite what to do with my character, Dana. But actually, it's nice, you know, it's like relationships where you've broken up with someone, but you still really like each other, but you know it's not right, but you know, you still love each other. So it's sort of modern, I think.
Yeah. Off the screen, what's the charm factor with Bill Murray? Women love him, and you've been close to him. What's the deal? Tell me.
Oh, dear. I think it's because he, I don't really know what it is with me. I just like the twinkle in his eye, and I like to see it. And, but I think with women who don't know him, strangers on the street that he goes up to, it's because he attacks them, and he says things like, baby, I know what makes you tick, and you know, I mean, he says these things, these unsuspecting women. I think it's part of it is just the surprise and the parody of whatever he's, you know, some sort of parody of a, you know, heartthrob.
Yeah. You brought a clip along. What's this clip all about?
If it's the one with me in the towel, he's trying to get me to go out on a date. I've moved in with him temporarily because something in the bathtub tried to get my baby. That's sort of what there's an evil spirit trying to steal my child. So I take refuge at Bill's house, and he's trying to convince me to go out on a date with him.
Okay, if it's not the one in the towel, we'll explain after the clip.
Oh, yes. Well, this is after he's convinced me, and we're about to go out. It'll explain itself.
Oh, this is the dirty shirt one.
This is the dirty shirt one.
Okay, go with it, Sandy.
It looks like you're awake, huh? You're awake.
Yes, Oscar. You're going to have the whole place to yourself tonight, pal. It's going to be pretty neat. I got some Laura Antonelli tapes if you want to watch them. Dana, did you see some shirts here in the floor bed area?
Yeah, I put them in the hamper.
I have a hamper?
It's in the bathroom.
Neat. Will you tell me next time you're going to do that, though, please?
Well, I thought they were dirty.
I have more than 2 grades of laundry, okay? There's not just clean and dirty. There are many subtle levels, okay? Hey, you hang this outside the window for 20 minutes, it's perfectly fine.
Interesting role model for you, Oscar, huh?
Yes. There's a lot of competition in the marketplace this season. How do you think Ghostbusters will fare?
Well, I have a little song that I can sing. Batman, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, third place. And I brought you a Ghostbusters button because if you wear it, everyone will want to see it.
Okay, I think they'll want to see it if I don't wear it. You guys are going to see Ghostbusters, aren't you? Yeah. I'll definitely wear this. We got a commercial coming, right? So why don't we just take a commercial while I put my pen on, and then we'll come back and talk more with Sigourney. I think I dropped it under the couch. You made a statement earlier I wanted to pick up on. You said twins. The child in this movie was played by twins?
Yes, because you can only use a child like 4 hours a day, especially a baby. So we had two twins named Will and Hank Deutschendorf, huge names for little babies. And they were great. They were probably the most well-behaved people on the set. They were, and actually it was a very humanizing influence. And I found that all the Ghostbusters naturally gravitated to the babies all the time. And it was very, very sweet.
Yeah. You play a lot of unusual roles. What's the most unusual? Because I know you did a lot of theater also.
Oh, well, in the early days, I played a lot of very strange parts. I play straighter parts now, but I would say the strangest role I ever played was a multiple schizophrenic who kept a hedgehog in her vagina.
I'm sorry. Hey, could you bring the boom down a little closer? Because I don't think I heard what she said.
She had different... Sorry. Are you all right?
Okay.
I guess it was sort of a Freudian role. And not only a hedgehog, but a seagull and hamsters. But it was a very, I can only say that it was a very ladylike role.
That's a very crowded vagina.
She didn't have many relationships outside of this.
Yes. Would you like to make love?
No, I have a hedgehog in my vagina.
She then became she then changed into a lesbian and then into a murderess. And actually, it was the best role I ever had in New York. It really was a great, way to show off all the different sides.
What was the name of that play?
It was called Titanic, and the Titanic, it was by Chris Durang, who's a wonderful playwright in New York. And the Titanic kept sinking, and everyone would panic, and then it would turn out to be a sound effects record that the captain's wife had put on. It was actually quite successful, and then we opened off-Broadway, and all the reviews said, Titanic sinks.
Oh, wow, that sounds like a fun play. I read an article that had you describing yourself when you were younger as a goon, which is strange, because, like, when I watch you in movies, especially like the first Ghostbusters, very sexy stuff.
Oh, thank you.
I can't see you as being a goon.
Well, I was this tall when I was 13. And so I sort of took a long time to catch up to myself. I was a late bloomer, I would say. So thank you for the compliment. But it did take me, I took a lot of modern dance in the end because I was sort of, like an octopus. And I was pretty goony. I liked that. I think I was sort of the class clown, as I imagine you were. And there's no, losing your dignity in a way that makes people laugh is very rewarding.
So you kind of thought of yourself as a goon?
Well, I know I was a goon. But I wasn't the only goon in my class, but I was sort of. I think it was the height thing, and But I think I'm still a secret goon. I think most of us are secret goons, but you just manage to sort of civilize your exterior so that no one can tell.
Yeah. You know what is interesting about you and I sitting here talking on this show? Your dad kind of is responsible for this arena. Not this specific one, but the whole art form. Why don't you tell it?
Oh, thank you. Well, my father created The Tonight Show and The Today Show, but when he was running NBC in the 50s, he created the format of the talk show, and he said people will want to watch early in the morning and late at night, which was unheard of then. And so we really are sort of beholden to him for the whole idea.
And there was nothing prior to The Tonight Show of this type, right?
No, no.
That's amazing. See, I know who you are. I don't, me and your dad, you know, never met, but I know of him, and he was also way ahead of his time with a lot of his ideas. He wanted to bring pay TV long before anybody thought it would work.
It's true. About more than 20 years ago, he started the first pay television system in Southern California. It had a lot of thousands of low, median income homes to watch sports and ballet and other things. And the theater owners, my bosses, put him out of business in an illegal way. And it took about 12 years for the Supreme Court to overthrow what they did. It'll make an interesting book someday when it's written about.
Doesn't my knowledge of the Weaver background amaze you?
Very impressive. Where are these cards? It's not even written down here. I appreciate it, though. I love talking about my father.
And I type well, too. Look at that.
You didn't type that. I bet you did the pink pencil, though.
Oh, yeah, because I wanted to get to those.
Father.
Definitely.
Goon. Alien.
Yes. Well, aliens, I mean, I'm wondering if there'll be another... Yeah, she's clapping already. Any more?
Well, they're pretty hard work.
Oh, yeah.
I may not be able to do it. Science fiction films are hard. Ghostbusters, not so much, because mostly it's laughs and being with your friends, which is really why we did it. But aliens, I'm always alone with a monster, so not a lot of laughs on that one.
Gorillas in the Mist affected a lot of people. I mean, it was the kind of movie, when you saw it, you were moved. How did it affect you, doing it, possibly?
Well, I think all of us were amazed. First of all, most of us hadn't been to Africa. We'd never been to Rwanda. We'd never worked with wild animals. And I think gorillas are so like us, you know, and it's hard to describe until they're actually, you know, they'll just come right over and, you know, they'll kind of, you know, I mean, they're really so immediate, the way they get to know you, that I think we all just fell in love with them. And I'm trying to keep going with my work with the gorillas to save them. It's the movies created a great deal of interest in them, and I'm hoping that won't work against them.
Yeah.
It's just noticing what small ears you have. Very sweet.
A lot of times people will be sitting here with me, and you'll see them talking about something serious. And I think Dan Quayle possibly is...
No.
You know, because I have, like, Spud
Tiny.
Webb's ears or
Tiny.
something.
Mine are tiny, but you beat me, so...
Yeah, I
really sweet.
can't hear a thing. That's why I pay attention. You know?
You read lips.
I read lips. Thank you for coming and letting me read your lips.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Miles Davis coming next. This is Sigourney Weaver.